You know, one of the biggest things that people miss is that your character is your destiny. So if you want to kind of have an idea of what your future is going to entail, then have a look at your character. Have a look at the traits that you currently have, right? Have a look at the traits that you've developed over the last course of time, and you're probably going to get a pretty good idea of what the future holds for you. And this isn't always a good thing. For a lot of people, this is actually pretty negative. For a lot of people, they don't realize that what they're doing today, their habits, everything that they have, everything that they do, all of their actions, all of their decisions, it's really leading them down a pretty bad path. And the path is really ultimately something that you can't be mad about, because every single time that you allow yourself to think negatively and then to act accordingly, then you are developing a pathway to failure. And you can't be mad at that failure. You have to kind of like turn around and look at yourself and go, what did I do wrong? Where have I gone wrong? When you know this, you can really change a lot. And a lot of the time people don't realize this. You have so much power to change your future, right? And it should always come to personal development first. If you do not have any control over your personal development, you're definitely not going to have much success in the world of professional development. And what I mean by that is that personal development is ultimately your health, right? And that comes down to your mindset, your physical ability. It comes down to your nutrition. It comes down to these. These are the elements that create personal development. What are you doing to grow your mind, right? To expand your thought process, right? To learn, to understand, to develop. That is going to be your mindset, your mentality, right? That's going to also help you create a sense of discipline, a better sense of character as well, because you're going to learn so many different skills, so many different traits. And then from there, you go into challenging your body physically, whether that be by doing endurance, whether it is strength. It doesn't matter what method you use, but you need to be doing something to challenge yourself. Because if you don't challenge yourself physically, put yourself in a place of pain, put yourself in a place of discomfort, and actually do this on a regular basis, then you're never going to grow physically. And that in turn does help you grow mentally. So you have to be challenging yourself. And then when it comes to nutrition, you have to look at that as a nourishment. It's not a punishment. It's not a reward. It's none of that. Food should ultimately just be your source. It's the source to create energy. It's your source to recover. It's your source to actually help you expand, develop, and be better. If you're not using it for that, you're probably using it as a sense of sabotage. You're probably using it as a stress response, right? And then ultimately what happens is that when you don't nourish your body properly, your body then doesn't want to do anything. And then because your body doesn't want to move, it then carries over into your thought process that you feel lazy, you feel like unworthy, you feel shitty about yourself. That's kind of like the vicious circle that you and many others are probably experiencing. But when you actually tap into each of these elements, you're going to understand that there's so much power. And the power that you're going to find in your personal development will then carry over into opportunity. It's going to carry over into the adversity that you will face, right? We all face it. You should be expecting something hard at all times, because it's going to happen even if you can try your absolute best to avoid it. It's just the way that life is. You know, like people think that life comes after them as if they're somewhat unique, as if, you know, hard things happen to only certain people. Hard things happen to everyone, right? It's just that some people are tougher. Some people can actually handle it better. That's why there is a difference between someone who is softer and weak, that can't handle something tough that comes their way, and someone that is mentally strong, physically able, and they can tackle anything that happens. That's the true difference. So when you work on your personal development and you solely just give yourself a chance, right? You nourish your body properly with your nutrition. You push yourself in your physicality. In other words, you work out, you train, and you push yourself hard. And then you read, you learn, you meditate, you do some breath work, you do all these. These are the solutions. Like people want these quick fixes, but if you don't have a full solution, you're going to be bouncing from like diet to fad to latest trend back to something else. And you're going to be known as a yo-yo person, right? You're just going to be that person because you don't stick to anything. You always want to fix one tiny area of your life, but you don't want to fix the whole thing. You want one tiny little thing to be better, but you don't want to get to the root cause. When you tackle the root cause, then you truly change. So when someone wants to have a better path and they wonder, well, my character isn't very good, right? I'm always late. I don't actually deliver upon my word. I don't promise because I know I can't keep it. And I talk a lot, but I don't actually have the actions to follow. I'm sensitive. I'm weak. People always joke about me. People laugh about me. How can you expect your future to be any better if you are that character? If you are that person that holds those traits? And if you are, have a think about who it is that is around you. Ask people that are going to be honest, right? Don't ask the people that are going to just like love you and tell you that, you know, you can be the way that you want no matter what, and they'll love you anyway. Get like your most trusted critic to tell you what are your downfalls, right? Tell them, ask them to actually say, what are like 3 top things that I do daily that are a little bit disappointing? Or what are the top 3 things about me that you maybe wouldn't want to tell me, but I'm asking you to, right? Get people around you that know you well to tell you this, all right? And tell them that, hey, I'm not going to be offended. I just want to know. Just tell me, right? Top 3 things. I guarantee you, if they'll first kind of be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but they'll actually turn around and be like, well, you know, you're kind of like always late. You're always late, and you say you're not going to be late, but then you're always late. So therefore you have 0 punctuality, right? You're just that person. You're always late. And if you can't be on time, it's showing people that you aren't prepared. And if you're not someone that has any type of preparation, then you can't expect yourself to be good or reliable, because no one's going to rely on the late person because they're unprepared. That's what it's telling everybody. So you're then going to kind of tap into the next thing. And someone might say, well, you know what? Like, you're always lazy. You don't want to do things. You always want to just sit around, and it's just kind of boring. And that might be hard for you to hear. But at the end of the day, the reality is that if someone's willing to tell you the truth, if someone that you can really trust, that is willing to tell you straight up the truth, then that is someone that truly loves you. That's the difference between someone that loves you and someone that is conditionally loving you, right? You need to know the difference, because at the end of the day, if you want to improve and if you want to be held accountable, you need to be around the person and the people that are willing to tell you the facts. The facts are the things that don't sound good. They don't feel good. That's just what facts are. They don't have any feelings, because at the end of the day, they just are what they are, no matter what you say. And if you try and defend it, right, without any evidence, without any support, then you're wrong. That's just it. You're wrong. So if you want to change your life, truly change your life, change your character. And if you want to change your character, start working on your weaknesses. Don't worry about your strengths. You're just going to harp on those. Look at all your weaknesses, lay them out, write them down, and then do one action task that can propel you to turn that weakness into a strength, whatever that looks like. If it means that you're lazy, then maybe every single day when your alarm goes off, you don't snooze, because that is a sign of a non-lazy person, because lazy people snooze, right? People who are unprepared snooze. People who are not dedicated to their life snooze, right? That's what the character is of that person. So if you want to be different, then you have to start making changes. So pick one action every day that you can improve upon for the character that you want to be, and let that start to lead you into a better way of living.